people, we have to master the qualities of leadership. And today, our guest is Professor Ajantha S. Dharmasiri. He is a distinguished academic with vast practical knowledge, and Professor Dharmasri has industry expertise with global academic knowledge as well. He's a chartered manager, HR professional, and electrical engineer as well. And last but not the least, Professor Dharmasri is the first homegrown senior professor in management of the Postgraduate Institute of Management, University of Sri Jayawardene, Sri Lanka. So let's not wait you all, and we start the webinar of today. I will invite Professor uh, Dharmasri to start his presentation. And to all the guests, if you have any questions for Professor Dharmasri, you can text your questions, and I will read out your questions at the end of this webinar. Please, Professor Dharmasri, over to you.
Thank you very much for the wonderful introduction. Ayubowan, that means may you have long life. That's how we greet each other in Sri Lanka. So let me wish all of you to have long life. So I'm indeed delighted to be with you all virtually. And Bangladesh, I have a lot of friends. I had been coming there regularly for consultancy sessions, training programs, and as a keynote speaker, particularly with the BSHRM, Bangladesh Society for Human Resource Management. So this is the first encounter with PMI Bangladesh chapter. I'm indeed honored for this by this invitation. So let me do the justice by sharing some thoughts which I've learned and which I've practiced and which I've applied as a leader, hopefully will be useful to all of you. So permit me to share some slides with you. And I have named the session as Leadership Brilliance for Project Excellence. Leadership Brilliance for Project Excellence. So let me press spotlight myself. Yes, there you are. Right. So you can see PIM, that is my second home for the past 25 years. You can see Price, that's my summer home. I used to go to US to teach international HRM in Price College of Business, one of the top 100 business schools in US, and CMI, Chartered Management Institute. Outside UK, they have 4 regional bodies in Singapore, Malaysia, Hong Kong, and Sri Lanka. I was heading the Sri Lankan operation till quite recent months. And CIPM, Chartered Institute of Personnel Management, which is connected to the World Federation of Human Resource Management, which I was a past president. So I'm the common I of PIM, Price, CMI, and CIPM. A simple, humble individual, I would say. So the topic, as I mentioned, is leadership brilliance for Project Excellence. So let me briefly share how I had been involved in leadership matters. Print media, electronic media, social media, local, regional, and global arena. I write columns on leadership. I appear in seminars on leadership. I go and do consultancies on leadership, and I led the largest business school in Sri Lanka for almost 7 years as its leader. So these are the 10 books that I've written, 2 in the local language, 8 in English, and the latest one is compilation of my columns called Strategic Strides. So these are the glimpses of my consultancy and training involvements, including Bangladesh. You can see from the costumes, Saudi Arabia, South Africa, Brunei, Maldives, Fiji, Bangladesh, Nepal, China, and Oman. Recently, I did a workshop in Oman. It's part of the Omanization, replacing expatriates with Omani nationals. So these are the glimpses of my summer teaching. When the summer is still cold, I get into very formal attire. When the summer gets hot up, I get into pair of shorts, which is very common in US. Professors come in pair of shorts with a can of Pepsi or something they have called Dr. Pepper, a little sweeter side of a cola. So interesting, memorable experiences. So moving ahead, so what I've got for this wonderful audience is three E's. Explore the fascination of leadership and expand the knowledge, attitudes, and skills, and then excel in the project management field. Explore, expand, and excel. So this is what the basis for my discussion. 80% of projects fail due to leadership. 80% of the projects fail due to leadership. So we have to take it seriously. It is not the machinery, it's not the equipment, it is not the money, but the leadership matters a lot. Sri Lanka had a major crisis, post-COVID crisis. Some people call it a dollar crisis. Some people call it an economic crisis, but I always call it a leadership crisis. So leaders can make or break. And I'm sure some of the recent incidences in Bangladesh, you know better than me how leadership matters. So let's talk about leadership. As they say, the only ship that survives a storm is leadership. So let's talk about a ship. So what sort of ship you see here? It's a wooden ship. So the main raw material, timber. From where do you get timber? From the forest. There's a very interesting statement. If you want to build a ship, don't drum up the men to go to the forest to gather wood, saw it, and nail the planks together. And you may ask, then how on earth can we build the ship? Instead, teach them the desire for the sea. So said Antoine de Saint-Exupéry, a French writer and a World War II pilot. If you carefully look at what Antoine says, there are two approaches towards people. To give you a clue, up to this point, approach one. Beyond this point, approach two. So what would approach one entail? Telling people, do this, do that, then do that, they will do that, and only that, nothing but that. In contrast, in the second approach, you don't tell, you create the picture, you create the desire, you create the liking, and then they will say, wow, let's go to the sea. And we need a channel, we need a ship, let's build our own ship. We need the raw materials, we need timber, let's go to the forest, let's gather wood, and we'll make our own ship. They will go extra mile. That is the fascination. So obviously, no need to tell what represents more the leadership. First one or the second one? Obvious answer is second one. First one might be easier in the short run, but what makes most significant in the long run, most impactful in the long run, the second approach. So I can simply summarize leadership in essence: inspiring, influencing, and initiating. Any leader has to be an inspirer, influencer, and initiator. You need to have inspiring words, influencing deeds, initiating seeds. If you look at any great religious leader, be it Prophet Muhammad, be it Jesus Christ, be it Buddha, be it any Hindu guru, they were inspiring others, they were influencing others, they were initiating things with others. In the case of project management, the leader of a project team, the team leader has to inspire the team members to give their fullest, to unleash their potential, and then to influence them by way of leading from the front and initiate things, say cost-cutting initiatives, time-saving initiatives, and resource optimization initiatives. You name it, you know that better than me. So the triple I's for me are very close to my heart. Inspiring words, influencing deeds, initiating seeds. Take a South Asian leader for an example. I was in Ahmedabad the last year, in Nirma University, Ahmedabad. They took me to a place called Sabarmati Ashram, where Mohandas Karmachand Gandhi spent bulk of his time in preparing himself to be a national leader. And it's amazing to see how we had the clothing machine where he started spinning his own clothes, and then he practiced ahimsa. He had inspiring words, influencing deeds, initiating seeds of non-violence. So the challenge is, my dear friends, we are living in a changing world. We are living in a turbulent world. We are living in an extremely volatile world. So we have, in fact, shifted from a VUCA world to a BANI world. Now, let me explain the details. So, what is VUCA? It's a term coined by Warren Bennis and Bert Nanus way back in 1985, after the Cold War between USA and USSR. They predicted the new world order. It was in American Defense College. So they coined the term VUCA. It's an acronym. I would call it VUCA 1.0 reality. So what is VUCA 1.0 reality that the world saw? Volatility, uncertainty, complexity, and ambiguity. Things were so volatile, things were so uncertain, things were so complex, things were so ambiguous. Think about the time that we had COVID and post-COVID. This is where the challenge comes. Just give me 1 second. Let me pause for 1 second. So, sorry, my battery was about to die down, so I had to plug it in. So we were talking about volatility, uncertainty, complexity, and ambiguity. So if you look at sorry, what has happened? Okay, here we are. So we are talking about volatility, uncertainty, complexity, and ambiguity. So if that is the reality, what should be our response? I coined the term VUCA 2.0. So what is VUCA 2.0? Vision, understanding, confidence, and agility. We need to have a clear vision for the future, a clear understanding of our surroundings, what's going on, what's happening, and then have the confidence, be firm on your feet, and agile, dynamic, vibrant, and in project management, it's absolutely needed, is it? So if VUCA 1.0 reality is there, my simple suggestion is we need to have VUCA 2.0 response. Having said that, things are more difficult, more complex, more unpredictable. Therefore, this gentleman comes to the scene, Jamais Casio, an anthropologist based in California. He says something very interesting. He says the concept of VUCA is increasingly obsolete with a new paradigm. Paradigm means a framework, a way of looking, a particular point of view, a perspective. We need a new language. So what is this new language is proposing? That is BANI. The acronym BANI stands for 4 illusion. So illusion is something like this, what you see in the picture, not very clear, not very precise, not very sharp. So what are the 4 illusions? Brittle, anxious, non-linear, and incomprehensible. So why they are illusions? Let's go through them one by one. Brittle, fragile, easily breakable. So illusion of strength. Sometimes people who think they are very strong are not so. Some nations who thought they were very strong were not so. So Russia thought it's a cakewalk to invade Ukraine and make it part of its territory. Even 3 years have gone, the bloody war is still continuing. Illusion of strength. Some very powerful political leaders. It happened in Sri Lanka, it happened in Bangladesh, it happened in many other places where they thought they were very strong, but it was an illusion. In Sri Lanka, after COVID, we had long fuel queues, long power outages, long gas shortages, and it is interesting case study. And finally, case study ended up as a case study. Case study. You know who was chased. So that's illusion of strength and anxious, illusion of control. And the way you drive, I think that's common in South Asia, the way you drive the mad rush during traffic so that we do not have control. Anxious. People are so tense. It's the world full of anxiety. And the third one, non-linear. It's very difficult to have cause and effect. In research, we look at the cause and the effect. It is not that straightforward. It's not that easy. I remember 3 years ago, there was a massive earthquake in Turkey, which killed 300,000 people, but not a single geologist anywhere in the world could predict it accurately. And there was the last year massive flooding in Dubai, in United Arab Emirates, where 1.5 years worth of rain was received in 1.5 days. So the so-called smart city, Dubai, was not so smart. When the trains got stuck underground, when the cars got stuck in the roadways, when people had to run for shelter, run for life, it was not so smart. Illusion of predictability. Incomprehensible. There are a lot of things happening which cannot be comprehended. Say, take COVID for an example. We had COVID one variant, scientists developed one vaccine. So another variant came which will not answer to the old vaccine. So a new vaccine has to be developed. So illusion of knowledge. If you think we are knowledgeable, we know everything, there's a beginning of decay. So knowledge is elusive. Things are changing. We need to update, upgrade to become up to date. So brittle, anxious, non-linear, incomprehensible, that is banny. That is the world that we see currently, that is banny. So if that is the case, I would propose against those four illusions, we need to have ignitions. So what is an ignition? Igniting ourselves, bringing out the best in us, unleashing the potential, energizing ourselves. So what are the, if this is Banny 1.0 illusion, I would propose Banny 2.0 ignition. So what are those? Very simple and straightforward: bold, assertive, neutral, and innovative. They say fortune favors the bold. So we got to be bold, be brave in facing the uncertain world. Assertive, be sure, be clear, be confident, showing that positive confidence in you to others. Neutral, not to be biased, not to be subjective, but to be objective, not to be partial, but to become impartial. And then open mind to look at all possibilities, all opportunities, all feasibilities. That's neutral and innovative. Future belongs to those who create it. So we need to have innovation as an absolute must. I think any project leader should demonstrate these ignitions. I would propose being bold, being assertive, being neutral, being innovative. I'm sure you agree with me. You need those ignitions to face 2.0, Banny 2.0 ignitions to face Banny 1.0 illusions. Having said that, let me connect this to sustainability, a buzzword these days around the globe. Sustainability. So, how do you simplify that? One single sentence to describe: taking care of today's needs without compromising future. Taking care of today's needs without compromising the future. So, that is what we need. So, in simple terms, it talks about triple E's: economy, ecology, and equity. You need to take care of economical front. Profit and growth are necessary. And ecology, you should not damage the environment excessively. And how you treat people, equitable treatment, not equality. Equality is a myth, equality is a mirage, equality is not possible, but equity, based on what they put, their effort should reflect in their rewards. Effort reward link, equity. So economy, ecology, and equity are interconnected. Sustainability. Project leaders, project management professionals, they have to be conscious of sustainability. Recently, I was flying, and that particular airline gave me a blanket. It is a night flight. And when I opened the polythene, the blanket had a small tag. It said the blanket was made by using 24 recycled PET bottles, PET bottles. 24 plastic bottles went into making that polyester blanket. Amazing. That's a sign of the circular economy. Circular economy. Reduce, reuse, recycle. That's the future. So project management professionals, project leaders should be conscious of that for sure. So we were talking about triple bottom line for a long time. Accountants are very familiar. Profit, people, planet. Make profit, look after people, and safeguard the planet. Now the latest is quadruple bottom line. 3 has become 4. So how do we put the fourth one? Profit for sure, people for sure, planet, and overarching purpose. Overarching purpose. Purpose-driven approach. Purpose-driven individuals, purpose-driven institutions, purpose-driven nations. That's what we need. So quadruple bottom line. Project management leaders cannot ignore the reality of quadruple bottom line. Purpose-driven approach. So that's where you need to have 5 E's of leadership excellence. 5 E's. Before moving into the 5 E's, talking about purpose. It's what you really believe in. It's the reason for your existence. Why you do what you do. That's purpose. So talking about purpose, the story comes to my mind. It talks about where you are heading and why you are going that way. The famous why you are heading that way. Hello, there's something.
We can
1
hear
second.
you, Professor.
Yeah, you can hear me. No? Suddenly my camera went off. I don't know, probably due to some bandwidth issue. Not sure.
Yeah,
Just give me.
I guess so. But we can see and hear you.
I think we lose him already.
I think not.
Okay,
He's
I'm still here.
muted.
If you can hear me, can I continue?
Yes, you can
Yeah, yeah,
continue.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
okay. So it reminds me what happened to Albert Einstein. He was traveling in Europe. He was sitting comfortably in a train compartment near a window. He was leisurely, relaxed, reading a book. And the ticket checker came into the compartment and started checking the tickets. And when he saw this, he started searching for his ticket, and he was searching for shirt pockets, trouser pockets, the bag, and he was searching all over. And the ticket checker felt sorry for him, and he came to him and said, "Sir, we know who you are. Don't worry. We know definitely you would have taken a ticket, so don't worry to find it, and continue your journey. Enjoy your journey." And he started checking others' tickets, and he was about to leave the compartment. He was about to leave the compartment. And to his biggest surprise, Albert Einstein was still searching for the ticket. So he felt very sorry that I disturbed this remarkable gentleman. And he came back and started apologizing. Sir, very sorry, I disturbed you. We know who you are. We know definitely you would have taken a ticket. Don't worry, sir. Forget about the ticket. Continue to enjoy the journey. And Albert Einstein look at that person, said, young man, I know who I am. That's why I'm searching for the ticket. Because I don't know where I'm going. The destination is in the ticket. I don't know where I'm going. The destination is in the ticket. I hope we are not having that flight. We should know where we are heading. We should know why we are heading that way. And we should know how to reach our destination. That's all about purpose, reason for doing what we are doing. To have a clear purpose, that's my earnest expectation. In moving ahead, 5 is for leadership excellence. Excellence is exceeding expectation, raising the bar higher and higher and higher. In doing so, you need 5 essential E's. So what are the 5 E's? Efficiency, effectiveness, efficacy, ethicality, and empathy. I'm sure these are simple things, but I believe sometimes simple things become very significant. So what are these 5 E's? So I can club these things like this. Efficiency result is all about resources. How you manage your resources. Say time efficiency, cost efficiency, fuel efficiency. It's all to do with your resources. Whereas effectiveness is all about results, achieving your target within the budgetary limits, within the given time frame. I'm sure project management professionals are always facing these challenges. Result focused, effective. The third one is from psychology. Efficacy. Efficacy. That's response. How do you respond with confidence? It closely associates with confidence. In other words, your belief about your ability, your belief about your ability. That's efficacy. How do you look at your confidence with regard to your task in front of you? The fourth one is ethicality, how you respect others, how you respect values, how you show your value-based leadership. Values are something very, very crucial to ensure you do something right, you do something good, you do something socially acceptable. I know in project management, you might come across some difficulties to manage certain politicians, to manage certain administrators, to manage certain authorities or people who make decisions to award the project, award a contract, award a particular assignment. So I know ethicality can be a big, big question mark, but it's a challenge. It's a challenge. Some leading companies around the globe, sometimes there are media reports of their unethical behavior, and then sometimes some heroes become zeros because of ethicality. So you need to command your respect by ensuring that you have a respectable behavior with regard to ethicality. And finally, empathy is all about your relationship. How do you look at from others' point of view? How do you look at from your team members' point of view? How do you look at from customers' point of view? How do you look at from clients' point of view? How do you ensure that you have perspectives from others, looking at their way of thinking, getting into others' shoes and walk? It's extremely important for a leader in order to have enriching relationship. So let me summarize. Efficiency is resource related, effectiveness is results related, efficacy is response related, ethicality is respect related, empathy is relationships related. Think about you. Are you, as a project management professional, demonstrating all 5 E's? So let me propose, pick one E to work on. as an improvement area. I will not call it a weakness. I will call it an area for improvement. So pick that particular E that you need to work on. All 5 E's are important, and they are all interconnected, intertwined, and integrated into one big excellence. Excellence is essence. It's essentially what we need in project management is excellence. Moving ahead, triple spheres of excellent leaders. Excellent leaders operate in 3 different spheres. So what are those? I would call them servant, synergist, and strategist. So by servant, you serve others. So by synergist, you build teams, synergizing with others. By strategist, you look at future, you become future focused. So this, what I developed fits very well with an old model of Aristotle, which he talked about ethos, pathos, and logos. Ethos is your character. Pathos is your emotional way of bonding. Logos is your logical way of thinking. Ethos, pathos, logos, or servant, synergist, and strategist. Those are the triple spheres an excellent leader would operate. A project management team leader should serve others, so he or she becomes a servant. A project management leader should work together with others, many other people. So he or she has to become a synergist. A project management leader should look at the future, not only the present, but the future. So he or she has to be a strategist. Strategy, in my simple view, is a game plan. How you plan the game to win. Winning is the end. Planning the game and executing the plan is what strategy is all about. So let me give you some world-class examples. Lead as a servant, who is my pick from a great leader in the annals of history, Saint Mother Teresa of Kolkata. Coming from rich Western European background, leaving all the richnesses aside, started working for the street children, deserted children, wounded children in Kolkata. Saint Mother Teresa. So this, so the way she did work as a true servant, and she said something very interesting. She said, "We can't do great things, but we can do small things with great love, great care, great affection." Amazing, isn't it? A great servant leader in action. And again, talking about leader as a synergist, my pick is Nelson Mandela, the first black president of South Africa, who made a rainbow nation. And this beautiful movie, Invictus, talks about 2 leaders. On the left side, the country leader, on the right side, the rugby leader. Rugby was hated by majority black Africans because rugby was associated with minority white. So they associated rugby with suppression, oppression, and depression. So this gentleman, Nelson Mandela, changed that scene. He built a bridge, not a border between black and white. So the majority black started liking towards rugby. That's an interesting story. If you get a chance, watch the movie Invictus, where Morgan Freeman plays the role of Nelson Mandela brilliantly. To cut a long story short, so there's a sarcastic commentator who always criticized South African rugby team Springboks. He predicted that they will never would come even into semi-finals. So when they won the World Cup in 1995, the same commentator comes to Francois Pinessa, the South African Springboks captain, who beat all-time favorites All Blacks New Zealand. And the commentator held the mic in front of Francois and asked, "Did you get the support of 60,000 spectators in the stadium? Did you get the support of 60,000 spectators in the stadium?" Francois smiled. I said, "I would rather. We got the support of 60 million South Africans around the country. Not 60,000, 60 million South Africans around the country." See, power of synergy in action. That one, lead as a strategist. My pick is obviously, as I already mentioned, Gandhi. The way Gandhi planned and executed freedom struggle in India, non-violence to the fullest. It's to do with non-violence. If you watch this movie, Gandhi, an Oscar award-winning movie by Sir Richard Attenborough, there's a very powerful statement. They may torture me, they may hit me, they may kill me, they can get my body, but not my willingness, not my obedience, not my concept. That's the power of ahimsa, non-violence. So he had a clear game plan to get the independence to India, and he executed that, and it worked. So leader has to be a servant, synergist, and strategist. Think about you. How would you play those three different roles? Lead as a uh, servant, synergist, and strategist. Moving ahead. In doing so, there are three leaps for a leader. So what are the three leaps? Leader has to be a learner, leader has to be a listener, leader has to be a leveler. A learner, listener, and a leveler. Why do I emphasize those three L's? So what is a leap? Going from where you are to a higher level, moving from where you are to a higher level. So in order to have that leap, you got to be a leader. Leader as a learner. Why it is necessary? In a rapidly changing world, we say change is the only permanent thing in the whole world. Everything is changing. Even the rate of change has accelerated. Everything is changing. So in a changing world, the current knowledge can be outdated, obsolete, discarded. So that's where John F. Kennedy said, leading and learning are indispensable to each other. You cannot be a leader without being a learner. This is very relevant to project management. With AI coming into the scene, artificial intelligence, there's more 3D mapping, there's more imaging, there's more accurate forecasting, there's more costing, there's more versatile AI tools for project management. So a project management leader should be a learner to be comprehend and to be competent on those areas. And again, the formal education you should not ignore. Education is the mother of leadership. I am the DBA coordinator of my institute, Doctor of Business Administration. I have seen increasing number of CEOs enroll in a doctoral program. So on one side, they excel in the industry. Also, they excel in knowledge-seeking behavior. So education is the mother of leadership. So DBA or a doctorate could be something quite handy for a leader. For a project manager or project management professional, think about how you strengthen your formal education. That's something important. So we learn ATWAD, funny acronym, isn't it? Anytime, anywhere, any device. Technically, you don't have to come to a classroom to learn. The most powerful encyclopedia in the whole world might be in your pocket or in your handbag. That's your mobile phone. Your mobile phone will get you the latest, hottest, the smartest knowledge. Anytime, anywhere, any device. That's why I always say internet is full of knowledge, full of facts and figures. And that's where we say the world has always been divided into two parts. Before Christ, after Christ, before Buddha, after Buddha. The latest division is digital division, BG and AG. So what is BG and AG? Before Google and after Google. So why fear when Google is there? Anytime, anywhere, any device. That's how we learn. So having covered the learner dimension, the second dimension is listener dimension. We are intelligent creatures, isn't it? So why? We have 2 ears and 1 mouth. So that's the intention of that intelligent design. So why 2 ears and 1 mouth? To talk less and to listen more. But is that what we are doing? Sometimes we talk and impatiently wait till the other finishes to resume our talk. So imagine a world where we have two mouths and one ear. The whole world will be jabbering, isn't it? So we need to be a listener. We need to have the patience to listen. Great leaders are great listeners. That's what Andy Stanley says. Leaders who do not listen will eventually be surrounded by people who have nothing to say. People will say, yes, sir, 3 bags full, sir. Or, yes, madam, 3 bags full, madam. So you don't learn anything. You're not challenged. You're not being logically taken to the task. So you will do whatever you want and you might fail. That's dangerous. So leader has to be a listener, absolute must. Moving ahead. Lead as a leveler. You might wonder why I use this funny term, leveling. When there are ups and downs in a contour, when there are bumps, you need to level to make it a level playing field. That's where the equity matters. Take a beautiful garden. The garden's beauty lies with variety, diversity. If you have only one type of trees, only tall trees, there's no beauty. If you have only short bushes, there's no beauty. If you have only one color flowers all around the garden, there's no beauty. The beauty comes with variety, diversity. That's where the 3 hot words around the globe, diversity, inclusion, and harmony. Even in project management, it's coming in a big way. We need to respect one another despite of race, religion, ethnicity, caste, creed, social status, whatever. It's not just gender. There are many other things. Diversity and inclusion. Diversity is inviting someone for a party. Inclusion is dancing with the person. And harmony. Harmony with everyone. That's what you need. Harmonizing with one another. Ensuring that you have that humanity in action. The diversity, inclusion, and harmony. So they talk about LGBTQ++. I don't know, in our part of the world, they are still not very much welcome, unlike the Western world. But the way the world is moving, one fine day we might have to say, good morning, ladies, gentlemen, and others. Whether we like it or not, that is the way forward. So lead has to be a learner, lead has to be a listener, lead has to be a leveler. These are the 3 ways of a leader demonstrating a leadership leap from current level to a higher level in action. And in moving ahead, it's a conscious shift. It requires a conscious shift from ego to eco. What is ego? Sometimes people are small, but their egos are very big. A cubicle is given to a leader. Leader refuses to go in, saying it's too small. Leader can easily go and sit, but the ego can't go in. Ego is too large. Room is too small. I would interpret it as edging growth out. Edging growth out. You won't grow if you are egoistic. You think you are the largest, biggest, tallest, then you will not grow. So my suggestion is shift from ego to eco, being eco-conscious, environmental friendly, and encounter challenges often. ECO, encounter challenges often. Not edging growth out, but encounter challenges often. Be open for changes, be open for opportunity. So I hope all of you all are ready for that conscious shift from ego to eco. That's my humble request. For that to happen, you need mindset, skill set, and tool set. The biggest problem with the new generation, Gen Z, Gen Alpha, they start with tool set. They start with tool set. Gen Z were digital natives. Gen Alpha is AI natives. From day one, they were exposed. But my observation is that it's very dangerous without the right mindset if you start with the tool set. First the mindset, then the skill set, then the tool set. As project management professionals, have the right mindset of a leader. It's more a mindset than anything else. It's far more to do with positions and titles. It's more to do with decisions and action. It requires mindset. To take the right decision, to take the right action, rather than worrying about your position or the title, that's a mindset. Then the skill set, and obviously tool set. So that's where I would like to draw your attention, and it's a continuing global journey. Leadership is a never-ending journey from good to great. They say the enemy of greatness is good. If you think you are a good leader and become complacent, that's the beginning of the end. They say when fertile learning stops, futile living begins. So join that continuing global journey. Enrich your leadership and engage in more leadership activities and excel by energizing yourself with others in becoming project management experts. So leadership brilliance for project excellence. So let me wish you good luck wholeheartedly. You can join me through LinkedIn. I have put the QR code as well. You have the chance of becoming the lucky 15,000th connection. I'm reaching that milestone very soon. So you can become the lucky 15,000th connection if you join with me through LinkedIn. Of course, I'm in Facebook and many other social media, but my preference is LinkedIn. It's a quality knowledge sharing platform. So please do join. You can visit my website, www.ajantha.info. You get videos, articles, and stuff, and you can email me, ajantha.dharmasiri@gmail.com. So let me open up for questions. Your valued questions are very much appreciated. So with that, I have given you plenty of time to ask questions. So let me close my presentation. Or if you want to take a quick scanning of my LinkedIn, I'll leave it, and I will hand over to the moderator or the master of ceremonies to start the question and answer session.
Thank you, Professor. It was an enlightening session, and you know, I was correlating myself it so well because when, as a project manager, we work with cross-functional teams. Everyone wants something, right? And in those ambiguous situations, I experienced that only your purpose can drive you to the right path. If your purpose and mindset is okay, then you can use the right tools or techniques. Other than that, actually, nothing works perfectly. It was a great session. So now the session is open for the question. I will request all the audience raise hand so that I can welcome you for question. I Do we see any raised hand?
There were some comments about the session. Thank you very much for all your comments. I humbly appreciate. Any more clarifications? Anything you want me to elaborate more? Anything that you would bring in?
Yeah, I'm seeing a question here asked by Sohel Mahmood. He has asked that I'd like to have examples on real project leaders, not political leader.
That's a great question. That's a great question. If you look at the project leader of Burj Al Khalifa Tower in Dubai, UAE, the amazing tower, project leader of Burj Al Khalifa Tower. I was told even the precision the person had in selecting the right material for the exterior using a titanium extract and nanotechnology extract. I think Sri Lanka exported some extract where when it's exposed to sunshine, where the color gets automatically quite clean. You don't have to clean that outer surface with the nano particles. It automatically, with the sunshine, it gets cleaned. See the lead as a strategist, and the way finally when there was some financial crisis, the names were changed. Even the very tower's name was modified. So how they faced that crisis, rather than giving up the project, rather than discarding the project, how they went ahead in full completion of the tallest tower in the world. It's a classic project management example. So I hope there are many other projects. The next one, how to create leadership pool in an organization. There's a better term I would propose, thank you for that question, is pipeline. More than a pool, pipeline. If you look at any position, you look at the one level below, and basically two things we are looking at: performance and potential. Someone should be a high performer at the current level and should have the potential to move to the next level. And if you want more details, there's a brilliant book, a New York Times bestseller, Leadership Grid by Ram Charan and others. So it talks about how to identify leaders at a lower level and give them the opportunity to move up. A career path should be created. So at early level, you need to identify leaders. For example, management trainees, among them who have more potential to move up. You might see future CEOs among the management trainees. You might see future C-suite leaders among the management trainees. So develop them, groom them, expose them to the real life challenges, and then to build them up. That's how I would look at it. Someone said, please share the session slides with us. Yes, I will do. I will email it to my friend, Mr. Ahmed Safur. Ahmed, I'll email you the set of slides and you can share that with others. Is that all right? And the organizers can share that. Okay.
Yeah, we will share with you the slides once we get from the professor. So I see no more question, but so Professor Dharmasiri, here is a small token of appreciation for this session today, which is tree is planted in Joypurhat Girls Cadet College in Bangladesh. You can track, the code is written here. We'll send you this certificate by email. So the thing is, a tree is planted in the Joypurhat Girls Cadet College, and you can track the plant. And this program is facilitated by DAHUK and PMI Bangladesh chapter.
Thank you very much. I feel deeply honored, and I would look forward to receive the certificate through email. And thank you for all of your wonderful participation, very active, interactive participation. And I hope you will take the message to your workplaces and to reflect, refresh, and relate what you have learned. So classroom, workplace connection is very important.
Yeah. It was indeed an excellent session. And we welcome you to come in Bangladesh, and
I would look forward to see all of you all physically one day in Dhaka or in Chittagong. I would look forward to that physical interaction with you.
Yeah, we'll meet, inshallah. And thank you for attending today's session, and good evening. Thank you all.
Good evening. All the very best. Take care. Good night, everyone.
Good night.